was just, when we first got together, we wanted to knock out the fun stuff, and the heavy stuff is fun, you know. So when we were about 8 songs deep, it was all heavy. So that's when I was kind of like, guys, we need to have some dynamics on the record and write some more atmospheric stuff or some more mellow stuff. So it just started out like we were writing all heavy stuff.
Good.
Well, the difference between All I Was and this is, I think on All I Was we knew what we were. We just kind of went into it hoping for the best, and now that we know what we can do, we kind of took our sound, expanded it, and you know, and then we added Wolfgang on the bass, which made the rhythm section tighter and more syncopated. And Another Heart is the first single. I was kind of on the fence with it at first. You know, I get why everybody chose it as the first single. I wanted Flying Monkeys to be the first single because I thought it was my favorite song, and I think it was the most cool and unique, one of my favorite riffs, one of my favorite choruses. But then everybody's like, the chorus just isn't a radio chorus. I'm like, yeah, it is. Come on. But I get why Another Heart has the catchier chorus. It's I love the bridge in Another Heart, so I love it as a song. So looking back on it, I think we made the right choice. Does it represent the album as a whole? It fits in the album. It's definitely not every song is like that. Most of the stuff maybe leaning a little heavier than that song, but I like it as a song. Every record I go into, there could be ideas that are years and years old, because I don't throw ideas away. If I write it, I just log it. I rate it, how much I like it, dislike it, what tuning it's in, how fast it's in, what time signature it's in, if it's a bridge, a chorus, a verse. So when it comes down to doing a record, and I have a song that has all the parts, but I need one part or a riff or something, I'll go back to my ideas and, here's this one from high school. I love this riff. Let's use that. You know, so it doesn't matter how old it is, as long as I still like it and it fits. When I write parts, I'll just sing off the top of my head to fill the melody, and I'll record so I can record the melody. And a lot of times, if you listen to those initial ideas where I'm just scatting lyrics, they're very close to the final lyrics, because I'll love the initial melody ideas and I don't want to change it, and I'll listen to those ideas sometimes 100 times as I'm arranging songs, and those melodies and those words that aren't quite words and aren't quite really phrases, I try to make it match it up as much as I can. And so when I'm doing demos now of what's to come on a record, I'll make myself write lyrics very fast and let it flow quickly along with the scattered lyrics, and then try it. When it comes to the final lyrics, I'll have to make them all make sense. Okay, this song is about this line that's weird, that makes no sense, needs to go, I need to change it. And it's usually these scattered lyrics that throw off a phrase that gives me an idea of what this whole song is going to be about. You know, most of the stuff happens, you know, when I'm writing by myself, and then I get with the band and we work out. Well, initially I get to see what other people think of my ideas that I've written, and the ones that they're excited about, we start jamming them, and then we work out. Okay, well, I've got these 10 other ideas that would fit with this one. Do you guys like best? So they're good to bounce that off of, and then we work out transitions between the parts together. We throw arrangement ideas at each other. You know, Wolfgang came up with a couple riffs on this record where he'll just be sitting in the back, just thumbing around with his bass. And it's funny, he's never like, I got a riff for this part. He'll just be kind of hitting the part, and like, that's cool, let's use that, you know. So like the pre-chorus to Another Heart, the single, that's his that's a Wolfgang riff for the beginning, that, of course, that bass line in the beginning of the Dark Trip bridge. You know, so he's definitely added some flavor to being this new member of the band. So that's one big change from the first record to the second record, is we have another member in there actively playing the bass, whereas before we were just 2 guitar players and a drummer. The most challenging song was probably Providence, because that was the very last day of pre-production. Elvis said, "I'm very happy with everything we got, really excited about it, but we don't have one key factor." It's like, we need this band's Blackbird. You know, we need your Blackbird. We need that big, epic, atmospheric song. So I'm like, you're telling me on the last day of pre-production you want me to pull out of my hat a song that could possibly be the best song that I ever had anything to do with, but you want me to do it here the last day? I said, yep. So I went through all my ideas and found that 6/8 fingerpick part for the verse, and then that all kind of came on the fly. We spent the whole day working on that song. I came up with the chorus part, and then for the bridge, Elvis suggested that we try this polyrhythmic approach. So he's like, you know, I heard this cool idea of this band I produced years ago. It did this like 5/4 idea and this and that. And I'm like, trying to hear it in my head, and Wolfgang all of a sudden starts playing this 5/4 pattern just on one note. And we're all like, yeah, that's cool, let's run with that. So we all started jamming it, put that idea, I put some vocals over it. And, you know, I kind of wrote the lyrics as we went that day to that song. And that song was put together in a day. And it's cool. I had one of my best friends from home had asked if he could come to the studio, and that's the day that he ended up showing up, and he got to see the song put together. He's like, wow, it's amazing. It's amazing that's what happens in the studio. I'm like, we caught a special day. We don't usually write a song like that in the studio. It was just one of those songs. Like on the Fortress record, that's kind of how Private Achilles and Fortress were in the studio with 5 heads to tackle the song. Sympathy, my friend. And Providence and Flying Monkeys are the 2 most prominent triple harmonies. But you know, I sang the record, and then Eric and Wolfgang harmonized pretty much the whole record. And then when we mixed it, we took away and added as we felt fit. I think they just harmonized over everything. So if it was just all harmonized, it would be a little too much. But they just, like I said, they harmonized over every single part, and then we picked and choose what was going to stay. I think it's a great step, because it's I think it's a big reason why Ultra Bridge got bigger. You know, I think the festivals you find so many new fans, and out of, if there's 10,000 people there, there's probably 9,500 that don't know who Tremonti is. So you got to get out there and earn some new fans and spread the word. Tanner was in a band called Endorphin that we used to go see in concert all the time. They were a very entertaining band, very progressive metal, crazy musically, and when it came down, when we found out that Wolfie couldn't do it, I knew 2 guys I was going to call, and one was Tanner and one was Brett Hessler. And you know, I talked to both of them about it, and Tanner was very excited. He's jumped at the opportunity, and Brett is running a studio at home and just couldn't do it. And so it made our decision easy in that respect. But Tanner's really excited about it. He's a great showman too, so he'll be all over the stage acting like a madman. So it'll be good. Blackbird. The feedback's been amazing. It's, you know, everybody's you know, said, you know, the vocals have stepped up, which I'm proud to hear, because I think the best way to improve is actually going out there and getting experience and touring. And that's the first time I've recorded an album after actually being a professional singer playing on tour. The first record I went in there not ever having toured as a singer before, so I was kind of, it's the first time doing it. So coming back and doing it again after touring, really, I had more confidence and more I could manipulate my voice better. So people said they heard that on the recordings, which means a lot to me. At first, I just wanted to record as many songs as possible, and we were thinking about maybe putting out 12 songs on a record, and then releasing 8 songs once a month or something for the remainder of the year. But when I stepped back and listened to it, I was like, you know what, let's make two records. So I left some of my favorite songs on the second record, just so people aren't going to buy the first record and be like, okay, this is the good record and this is the bad record. These are the bad songs.
B-side,
Like my brother Dan likes the second record better than the first record, and that's just, some of my favorite songs are on the second record. The title track, Dust, I think has the best chorus of the whole recording process. Dust has my favorite solo. The opening track, My Last Mistake, is one of my favorite songs. It's got the ballad of the big ballad of the 2 records. It's definitely not the B-sides of this album. I mean, it's not all ballady, but the second verse rocks a little bit, but it's definitely the most ballady song that we've ever. So I definitely have that side to me, that super melodic, emotional. I like to write that kind of stuff. It's just when you're writing with a bunch of guys that want to get out there and rock, it's hard to put the brakes on and hugely important. Europe is what spearheaded Alter Bridge's success. And, I suspect that this is going to be the same place where Tremonti takes off. You know, the UK, Germany, Italy, Holland are all huge markets for us, and that's where we'll be here. I don't know if they've announced the dates we're doing yet here for the upcoming June tour, but they will be announced, and then we'll come back in the fall. We'll come back again early next year. At some point, the first half of next year, hopefully. On stage, funny, no. Probably when I fell down in Chicago was probably the most embarrassing moment. I didn't let it get to me too much, but what made it embarrassing was I'm coming out in Chicago, the place is packed, it's all revved up, and telling everybody, get ready to rock. The monitor had plastic with feet on it, and the wood floor made it just slide right out from under me. So I'm trying to play all the way down to the ground, and I'm still playing, I'm like, whatever, stop playing. Then people started calling me Banana Foot. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I've got the first model at my house, and we're just working it out. You know, I just was on the phone with Rich from PRS the other day, and I was telling him, I'm like, man, I love the sound of this amp. I love it for lead tone and everything. I said, but is it my sound? And I want to make sure it's both something I love and both something that a fan will buy and hear my tone in it. A lot of the tone is in the fingers, obviously, but I also wanted to have an amp that was very affordable. I wanted it just to be, an $800, something that's under $800, something that the kids can afford, not some multi-$1,000 amp. I want it to be, a 15 watt or a 20 watt little amp, and I just wanted to be just a head. So we've experimented with, they sent me some cabinets, and I've tried the cabinets and stuff. I'm just still hunting that down, that chunk tone out of it. Right now it's got a sweet, awesome lead tone to it. Like if I bought this amp for $700-800 and got the lead tone out as a kid, I'd be over the moon. And I told him, like, I'd put my name on it right now just for that, but I want to make sure that it has everything, and it might take me going up there a few times. Because right now we're just talking, and it's hard to, I'm not the type of guy to say, take the 4K frequency and turn it down a little bit, but I don't know that kind of stuff, so I'd have to get up there and They'd have to take out the, do it on the fly with me in there, so we'll see. Cauterize had the Ubershaw with the 6L6s. It had the Boogie, the Archon, and the RK100. It also had some other, like the Van Wielden Twinkleland was all the clean tones and like the half 30 tones. Eric used the 5153, I think it is, the hand-wired 5150, and then I brought in a 56 Deluxe that might have made it on one track. I had brought in all my fancy amps, and I played through them all, and Elvis was like, all right, I like these are the ones, let's go with these, and I trust his ear, and that's what we went with. He has, the Neve console, one of the best, the ones you see in Sound City with, that Dave Grohl did and the Foo Fighters did. He's got one of those incredible boards, and it just makes everything just sound so much bigger and warmer and fatter. And he used it also with Miles and Slash on their record. But he used tape. Those guys used tape where we just did normal Pro Tools, but I think it sounds amazing. Oh, jeez. My guitar toolkit, Twitter, and Field Runners. I don't list them all. One of my favorite songs is "The Way It Is" by Bruce Hornsby. We're about to do a acoustic cover. When we do Octane Radio back in the States, they ask you to do an acoustic song, or 2 acoustic of your own songs and a cover song. So I was thinking about doing Bruce Hornsby "The Way It Is," but then I picked a different song. But that's one of my favorites, lyric-wise. The music is just amazing. So. Typical German, engineering, great cars. The Army of 12 Germany.
Yeah, really.
I didn't know if that was a trick question. Hi, Mark Tremonti here. I want to say thank you very much to Army of 12 Germany, and we'll be back here many times this year, well, at least twice, and then hopefully early next year. And the album's out, Cauterize is the name, it's out June 9th, so check it out.